Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica.
So it's time for those 1 minute book recs. This is where we go over all the books we read in the past week with 1 minute synopsises for each book. But before we start with that, my not feeling well bestie has got some stuff to say too.
Well, we would love for you to hit that subscribe button if you're watching. We really appreciate that. And we also appreciate those likes and comments. So let us know what you've been reading. How's life? What's new? Tell us everything that you want to share.
So speaking of sharing, will you share with us about your reading week? Don't get smart.
You're so weird. Well, first off, Merry Christmas.
No. Did
Yep.
you already start decorating for Christmas? It's November 1st that they were recording this.
No, I have not started, but
But you're
after we're
thinking
done
about it.
here, I told my family that all their shit needed to be out of the living room because I was decorating for
Going to.
Christmas. And my husband wanted a fake tree last year with the promise that he would put it up every year. So I also told him as soon as he gets up, he needs to get the fake tree in here and up.
So after recording today, I will take down the Halloween decorations, but leave up the fall Thanksgiving decorations in my house. So
It is Christmas season.
it is not Christmas. Okay, tell us about your reading week.
I'm even wearing my Christmas sweater.
Oh, good
sweatshirt.
I'm wearing my Buffalo Bills.
That has nothing to do with the holiday season. It is Christmas.
Has everything to do with me going to Florida on Wednesday, though.
I read a lot this week. I got 10 books in.
Okay, I got 8 books in. A lot of mine were rereads, but we're talking about them anyway. Because I never do. Which means you're starting.
I know. Why don't you read more?
I read plenty.
Just kidding. Okay.
Okay.
My turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so to start off, I read a book.
I know.
But that was a lie. I actually listened to a book. Sorry.
Okay.
So this is The Roommate's Guide to Love. I got the ALC. The ALC just dropped, and it is narrated by Tyler, is it Donnay? And Amanda Stribling. Oops, I didn't push the start button on the timer. Sorry. Okay, so this is about Quinn and Porter. Quinn and Porter have had this like 8-year fling, if you will, or an 8-year situationship. I don't know what you would call it exactly. So she lives somewhere else, like an airplane right away. But whenever she's back to her hometown, her and Porter will hook up while she's there. And this has been going on for 8 years. Well, back where she lives, she's a teacher, and she quits in quite the epic fashion when some parents start just really causing problems that don't need to be caused. And so she's just tired of it. And so she quits. And she goes home and realizes she doesn't really have a plan on what she's going to do now. But she's very passionate about reading and encouraging kids to read. So she's just kind of struggling a little bit to find her way. And her and Porter, because she's back, are kind of hooking up when Porter's younger sister, that he does not really know at all, drops off her baby with him and leaves paperwork and everything giving him custody of the little girl. And so Quinn kind of steps in to try and help him navigate all this. They are roommates now, and I just loved it. It was so good. I loved how the two of them just kind of came together as this family unit for the little girl, and it was just really good. I loved it. 5 stars.
Okay. All right, well, the first book that I have to talk about is one that Mandy has talked about a few times over the last week or so, and it was our buddy read. So that is The Homemaker by Julianne. So this is about Alice, this is just a very odd, like, rich people do weird things, and Alice gets hired by this wealthy couple who's in their 50s to be their homemaker, like wear the outfit, the apron, do all the stuff that a homemaker would do. And you'd think it'd be kinky, but it's not kinky. It's totally not that kind of a thing. It's just weird, because weird rich people stuff. And at one point, their daughter comes home. She brings her fiance. She's home to plan her wedding for the summer, and that is when we see Murphy, who is like one of the least sexiest names out there, but he is our hero. And he and Alice had a fling, a 2-week long fling, a handful of years, I think it was like 8 years prior. They have some history, but he's engaged to this other chick, and there's all this other stuff that's going to happen. That's just the quick synopsis of it, because Mandy's talked about it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. It was all right.
How long have you switched over for?
Oh, I just did. I did.
Okay. I'm just like...
I just felt like you've talked about it enough that I didn't have to really give a full synopsis of it. So, chiropractor? Massage?
So my kids have been sick, and I think the sickness has come for me. I take some medicine. I don't know if it's my allergies or if I'm coming down with something.
It couldn't have been trick-or-treating in the rain, could it? Yeah. All right. Well, what do you got next?
Okay. Next, I have another arc I got. It's coming out on November 5th, and this is Sire by Kelly Finley. This is also on my November TBR, so I'm doing a fantastic job. Okay. So this is, I'm going to read off all the tropes, because this is really kind of one of these books where it just takes all the tropes and it's kind of like a fun little menu. So it's got dark romance. It has a very significant age gap. It's Mafia, not Mafia. It's got secret society stuff happening in it. It's got taboo. It's got breeding. Our hero is morally gray. He's also a pastor. Lots of things are happening in this book. So we have Sire. Sire and his brothers are kind of like this Mafia, not Mafia group, and they are working on taking down human trafficking. And they go and pretend to be buyers, but then they end up taking care of the whole situation and rescuing these young women. One of them is Ren, and Ren gets taken to get, help and all of that. And she's very insistent that she wants to stay with Sire. So they bring her to Sire at his church, where he is the pastor. My timer went off.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard. I couldn't tell.
They kind of start to fall for each other, but there's like lots of secrets going on. And this is a very taboo Mafia, not Mafia, with like taboo traditions and things. So it's pretty wild.
Okay.
4 stars.
Okay.
And again, comes out November 5th.
Okay. Well, I started in with a reread of one of my favorite series that we never talk about because of the controversy that surrounded these books, that interestingly enough, they'd been out for over 10 years before somebody got a bug up their butt. And anybody who's read these books know that the controversy isn't even, it's true. The controversy isn't even valid. So we're going to talk about It Ain't Me Babe by Tilly Cole, because it is literally the best MC romance series out there. You can only get them on audio, and I think it's just the first 4 books you can get on audio, because Tilly has not released them, and you don't see any of the controversial stuff really in the first few. So anyhow, It Ain't Me Babe, literally, like I said, hands down best MC out there, dark romance out there. It is about May and Styx. They meet on one of the worst days of her life, and they're like 8 years old roughly at this time, and they meet through a fence. Styx is mute, but he not selectively mute. He can't speak. He has a horrible stutter, so he signs, but he can talk to May. And so that like sticks with him. They don't see each other again until they're in their 20s. And she is escaping this cult that her family is a part of. And she's being made to marry the old icky prophet. And so on her wedding day, she flees. She gets injured, picked up by a woman in this truck, like a trucker, and dropped off at their compound. And then Styx finds her and realizes a little while later that it is her. And then this is their story. So you have a very, very hardened MC, like the gritty MC. And then you have a girl who has been raised in this cult, cut off from the outside world, knows absolutely nothing. Best MC romance out there. Still is. But like I said, you can't get the books quite yet unless you get them from Tilly's website. They pop up every once in a while, but the audio is still out there. And the audio is fantastic.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, now that I've read my Dark and Taboo, I'm going to go Small Town, Alaska.
Okay.
Okay. So, You, Me, and Forever by Laura Pavlov. This takes place in Blushing, Alaska. It is about Montana. Montana and her bestie have a wedding planning business in this small town, and someone very famous got married there. And so now it is quite the destination wedding location. And so Miles is from New York. He is a developer and he has come to Blushing, Alaska to tear down the beloved seaside inn and build some monstrosity. So that quickly puts Montana and Miles as enemies to lovers, but not knowing who each other were, they end up having a one night stand, which is kind of out of Montana's normal realm. And then she finds out who he is and she is pissed because he's tearing down the seaside inn. Her father works there. She has lots and lots of childhood memories from like basically growing up there. Also, this is where most of the weddings take place. So now she's scrambling to find a new location for this. And they are going to end up falling for each other. I rated it 4 stars because I am a small town girly and I could not get over the fact that he and did tear down the seaside inn. Like, this was not where he didn't, which is what happens. Like, anytime you watch a Hallmark movie, they always save it. But in this book, they did not. And I don't know how she got over it because I was still kind of pissed at him. So instead of 5 stars, Miles gets 4.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
You're so welcome. So, okay. Well, I continued on with my rereads because once you read one, they're like crack and you can't put them down. And I just couldn't help myself. So I picked up book number 2 in the Hades Hangman series. Once again, I listened to this one. It's the only way you can do it. But this is Hearts Recaptured by Tilly. And this is, like I said, book 2. This is about Kai and one of May from the beginning, but the first book's sisters. Which they use the term loosely sisters. They're kind of raised together, but they're not blood sisters. And so that is Lila. So Lila has left this cult as well, reluctantly. She's still holding on to a lot of the culty aspects. She thinks that she's been raised that her beauty is a curse, been told that her whole life. And so she feels like her beauty is a curse and there's something wrong with her. Nobody can love her for her because she's just too beautiful and she's cursed to these men. Again, guys, you have to check triggers on these because there's a lot. And then you have Kai. He is the vice president, but he's like the club hoe. Like he just, yeah, anybody and everybody, come one, come all. It's like a playground for him. And so he gets told that he has to keep an eye on Lila and kind of integrate her into the club by sticks. And so this is their story. Again, it's great. I mean, the first book will always be my favorite. This one's good too. So there you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So then next I read You, Me, and Forever because I got the ALC for Love You, Mean It. So I wanted to read the first book. Even though they are standalones, you can definitely read them separate if you want to. So I got the ALC for Love You, Mean It by Laura Pavlov. And that is narrated by Aaron Mallon and Connor Kress. This comes out November 4th. So in this one, we have Violet. Violet is the other bestie for the wedding planning business. And Violet has just kind of really struggled to figure out where she belongs. Like, her mom and dad divorced. Her dad is she's really just kind of felt like an outcast in her family. And it's been hard for her. And so here she went to go do something and left Alaska for a little bit, but she didn't have her water shut off to her house. So some pipe broke or something like that and flooded the whole place and made a huge mess. And she can't live there right now. So she is going to be staying, and Charlie has like kind of like a mother-in-law cabin type thing on his property that his cousin just moved out of. So she's going to stay there while the house is renovated. And Charlie is going to be the contractor for this. And she likes to call him Charles. And just to get under his skin. And they have just this great banter back and forth, which I absolutely loved. Like she goes and just says like some things to some women at a bar about how his dick doesn't work, and like there's these nicknames that they have for him, and he's like super confused about what's going on. And oh my gosh, just stuff like this back and forth between the two of them, kind of, it's like the enemies to lovers thing, but just with the banter instead of like the pure hatred. But Charlie also has a daughter who's 7. And so when she moves in, she agrees to kind of help with Harper a little bit. And oh my gosh, I just love her relationship and the bond that she ends up having with Harper and just how all of that comes together. So I loved this one. I rated it 5 stars.
The next book I guess I listened to this one. Was an ALC that I got from Natasha Knight. This is the second book in her War of Hearts duet. So this picks up where the last one left off on a cliffhanger. This is Allegra and Cassian. We see something major happen at the end of the second book, and now Cassian is trying to get back with Allegra. And we start to get answers in this one. There's not a lot that I can say because it'll give away what happens in the first book. But we do find out how Allegra was abused, why she's got burns on the back of her neck, why her pinky is missing, and what happened to her, and some other things happened to her too. But this one, I really enjoyed it. I gave this one 5 stars, and I think for the duet itself, I would probably give it 5 stars. I really enjoyed the duet. It was great. I loved having Natasha back and writing again. So.
All right. I read a book that you listened to last week.
Okay.
So I guess I'll do a quick synopsis.
Sure.
Okay. So I read Tempest. Tempest.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like that word.
Sorry.
This is book 3 in the Seattle Blade series by Allison Rimes. This is Odette and Gavin's story. So Gavin just recently got traded out to, or no, has he been to Seattle for a while? I think he's been at Seattle for a while. He's just recently gotten divorced. His ex-wife has moved back to New York where they had lived for many years. His daughter has decided to stay in Seattle because she's going to go to college there. So he ends up running into Odette, who was his short-term fling right before he left for college 20 years ago. And we kind of see flashbacks to see exactly what happened there. I enjoyed this story. I gave it 4 stars. There were a few times where I had some issues. Like this happened 20 years ago, and he was been married this whole time, and now he's like, oh, I really like you, Odette. I'm so sorry all this happened. And she's never really moved on. And it's 20 years later. And so I enjoyed the story, but the 20 years thing kind of had me hung up a little bit. Just like, that's a long time, like to not date or anything because you're kind of hung up on somebody that you were with for exactly 69 days. I love Allison Rimes when she's writing cheating books. She really hits the angst. And yeah, this one just, I don't know. It was still a 4-star read. I just really like her angstier books.
Okay. All right. Well, next because I couldn't stop with the Hades Hangman. This is the last one, I promise. I read Souls Unfractured, which is the 3rd book. Or I listened to it, I should say. Come on, fingers, work for me. Okay. This one is like this one is just one of the best ones in the whole series. This is about Flame and Maddie. Flame, I believe, is on the spectrum. He has very violent tendencies, and he cannot be touched at all. He came from a very abusive background, and he's just he's got some issues. And then you have Maddie. She is the youngest sibling to our heroine from the first book. And she herself, because of how they were raised in this cult, has issues as well. And Flame goes into a complete meltdown one day. Now he's been watching her. He kind of protects her, cannot touch her, but he is fascinated with her, and she is with him as well. But he has this meltdown, and it's when his two best friends kind of reveal the fact that he asks if he goes into a situation like this for them to put him out of his misery. And Maddie comes into the picture and says, absolutely not. You will not do that to him. I don't care what he asks for. I'm going to make this better. And she goes in and tries to reach him. And then their relationship starts from there. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. There's a second book to this one, but it's not on audio. I mean, I have it, but nobody, you can't get it if you don't already have it yet. But Tilly said she is going to put these back out. Not the controversial one, but these ones back out. Sometimes she's writing another book in the series. I don't know if we'll ever get them back there. I don't know. She said we will. We'll see. But these ones are on audio. You can get them, but just through audio, through Audible at this point. So
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Because one of my most anticipated books is finally coming in just a few short weeks, I needed to get catched up. Wow, I needed to get caught up on this series. So I read Owen by BJ Alpha. This is
Love
part
Owen.
of the Storm series because like their initials spell out Storm. So Owen and Leia, oh my goodness, these two. So Leia is 10 years younger than Owen. Owen is best friends with Leia's brother Tate, who is part of the Storm Enterprises. And Leia has always had this big crush on Owen. And when she is 18, they finally end up sleeping together. And then he breaks her heart. And this happens very quickly at the very beginning of the book. So she kind of picks up pieces and moves on. She goes off to college. She ends up getting married and pregnant. And Owen kind of loses his shit when he finds out this happened. Oh, I forgot to set my timer. And she is now in danger, and things are going to get wild from there. Not wild like good wild, like chaotic,
Wild.
hectic wild. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this, and I really enjoy this. I rated it 4 stars, and this is proof that Jessica does really like Brother's Best Friend.
Still done a little differently, but yeah. Okay. Well, sorry, I continue to read that I was doing last week because like it's been crazy busy at work. So I have to have stuff that I've already read so I can focus. So this is Mine by Katy Evans. This one you have to read the book Real before you can read Mine, but this is the conclusion of Brooke and Remy's story. This is all told from Brooke's point of view, but there's a book that comes after this. This is all Remy's point of view, but it was kind of boring to me, so I didn't do that one. But this one I did re-listen to. Brooke can be slightly annoying. I realize that now, but I do love it for Remy, and I'm going to stick with it. So this is an MMA fighting book. Remy, there are repercussions to what happens at the last fight in the end of the second or the end of the first book, and we pick up shortly after that. In this book, we see Remy getting back into shape, starting to fight again. We see him coming to terms with their relationship. We see Brooke dealing with a lot of second guessing and questions about Remy's mind and where he's at, and because he is bipolar and how things are going to go with him. And so there's a lot of questioning. I don't know that this book was absolutely necessary now that I'm reading it for a second time, but I still liked it. The first one was great. This one, I mean, you have to read it to continue on in the series, but I liked the first one more. I like the relationship a lot. So there you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, next I got Whirlwind as an ALC, which is the 4th book in Seattle Blades. It just came out on audio. So all 4 books are now in audio. So for you audiobook lovers, this is a I don't know if the series is complete. If it doesn't show anywhere that there's going to be another book.
Who's the author?
Allison Rhymes, sorry.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah. There's nowhere that shows that there will be another one. And when I kind of think about it, there's no characters that are standing out in my mind. I might be not thinking about somebody. So I don't want to call it a complete series, but it is 4 books that are it's 4 books in a series with all audio, and it's as complete as it is right now. She may add to it. We don't know.
Okay.
So Whirlwind. is about Kit and Tyson. And I have been waiting for this one because I really wanted to hear Tyson's story. So Tyson we see in the first book, Rainfall. And I would recommend reading Rainfall before you read this book, but you don't have to because it's mentioned so you know that he's kind of still hung up on somebody that he was with before, but it's not necessary to have read the first three books to enjoy Whirlwind. I guess I'll put that way. If you want to know more about Tyson, read or listen to Rainfall and then go into Whirlwind or do the whole series. Who am I to tell you what to do? Oh my gosh, this has gotten off track. Okay, so this is narrated by Marie Stark and Robin Blake. Can't read my own handwriting, which I believe both narrators are new to me and they both did a great job with this. So I have ran out of time. Crap.
Yeah, you
Okay,
have.
Kit has some trauma. She does not date. We don't know why. We find out as the story goes on. Tyson is on the hockey team. Kit is friends with the girls from the other books. And so Tyson lives next door to her. They kind of become friends and he wants to hang out with her. She describes herself as kind of like very nerdy, very like, bookish. And he is like this hot hockey player. And she's really perplexed as to why someone like him would like someone like her, especially when he's kind of been, he can get whatever woman he wants. And she's like kind of afraid of intimacy. She has this trauma and all of that. So it was just a really kind of sweet story of the like opposites attract, but in just a very sweet way. Pretty low angst. And again, I just love Allison Rhymes for her angst, but this one is not very angsty. I really enjoyed it. I rated it 4 stars. Have you
Okay.
ever heard of those narrators?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, me either. They did a phenomenal job and would definitely be ones that I will listen to again when I see their names come up.
Okay. Good to know. Always love a good new narrator.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next book I got again was an audiobook. And this one you have to get from the author's Shopify store just under her name. You can't get it off Audible. It's not on Audible. But this is his Darkest Deceit by Addison Kane. And you can get this as a bundle because this is the first book in a duet. I'm starting the second book later today, but this is the first one. So this is an Omegaverse, but it's a little bit of a different take on an Omegaverse because this is about Lorraine or Lorianne, I think is what her name was. Lorianne. She we've left Earth. Like Earth imploded on itself. Earth had some issues. And so we've left Earth. So it is sci-fi. It is kind of alien-ish because her mom was human, but her father wasn't. And so she's a hybrid. And we created these hybrids to survive the atmosphere and this fog that is on this world. And so when you have a hybrid, they go to this school at the age of 5. Their moms give them over basically to the government. And they are raised in the school where they are taught to fight the creatures in the fog. And they're basically there to protect the humans that are on this planet. And so Lorianne's been there for, quite a long time. She's getting ready to graduate. She's, late teens, early 20s. And she has had this commander, this general guy there for years, and he's made her life a living hell. And they're not even allowed to look at the boys. Like these were rules that came in after this guy came in. And that was Sideral is his name. And come to find out that Sideral is actually her fated mate. He is her mate. And he's put all these things in place to keep her for himself. So there is, in true Addison Kane fashion, there is a forced relationship here. She really doesn't want to be with him. Buddy is hers. There's very odd genitalia on both parts for this one. Very interesting. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It's Omegaverse with aliens that are human-ish.
You almost had me, but I'm concerned with how much you're objectifying aliens.
For crying out loud. Nice try. Okay, what do you got next?
I have some concerns.
You always have concerns. Okay.
Did the author consult with aliens to confirm that this is accurate information that
No,
she is sharing?
because they're not real, so she can't. So it's a little different. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, continue. This planet
Okay.
was made up, just FYI. But
What?
I know. I mean, it could be real. It could be out there, but we haven't explored space that much.
Anyway, next up, again, because Mace is coming out in just a couple weeks, I finished getting myself caught up, so I read Read.
Read. Okay.
So Reed, oh Reed. So Reed likes multiple women, and he's not shy about letting everyone know that it takes multiple women for anything exciting to happen in his life. And he ends up meeting this woman in a bar. She says she's an attorney. He's also an attorney. They go and they end up having this like insanely great night together. Reed is totally blown away by this because he usually orders this sort of thing with multiple women at once, and so he's like really almost awestruck by the fact that it was this great with just this one girl, or woman. And then the next day she's gone, and he like really wants to make Owen find her for him, but Owen's kind of busy dealing with a lot of other stuff going on in the guys' lives. And so Reed just kind of just lets it go, but not really. Months and months pass, and then he finds her. Turns out it's Gia. And Gia is now very, very pregnant, and the baby is Reed's. But here's the thing about Reed. Reed is my timer went off, by the way. Reed is a germaphobe, basically. Like, he does not like kids, he does not like dogs, and all of a sudden he finds himself in the throes of kids and dogs trying to impress Gia. I just loved how much he tried, even though he's kind of like a bumbling idiot at most things that normal people just do. He really struggles with. I loved him. I rated this 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed the book, and it leaves us on such a cliffhanger for Mace that I'm really glad that I waited, because I don't think I would have liked waiting months and months for Mace to come
I've been
out.
waiting.
I've been waiting for Mace too. Like, as soon as we read Shaw's book, I've wanted to know Mace's story.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but
And
I read Read when it was an arc months ago. I've been waiting.
I don't even want to wait 2 more weeks. So, anyway, who is your favorite Storm guy so far? Like, I don't think we
Reed.
can count Mace because we haven't had his story yet.
Reed.
Me too.
Yeah, Reed is my
Like,
favorite.
kind of
so far.
hands down.
Yeah. Which is kind of hard because BJ and I talk all the time, and she'll mention one of the guys from that series or another, and I'm like, oh, that's my favorite. And then she'll mention another, I'm like, oh, that's my favorite. But really, I think Reed is right now. Like, I typically can't make my mind up, but
Arena's definitely my favorite.
Tate was another favorite, but Reed is just, it's the bumbling germaphobe that I really love.
Yeah.
The way
I
he
need
tries
to
so
go
hard.
read Veiled in Hate. Is that Luca's story?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to go, and that's a duet?
No.
No? I thought there were 2 books in his.
No, I read Shaw's book, then I read Veiled in Hate, because I knew that in Shaw we meet Luca and then we get his story. Eventually she's going to write more books and make Veiled in Hate, make that into a series with different characters, but for right now it's just those guys.
So just one
Luca.
book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I need to go read it. I'll see you later.
Well, no. We still got a couple more to go. Okay, so the next book that I read was my Halloween read. This is Vile Pucker by Kate Raven. This is a gothic, dark hockey romance, even though we really don't see any hockey at all in this book. This one is a little out there and crazy, but it was still kind of fun. So this is about Lark. She works at a college. She is a professor, but she is also a psychologist, and her specialty is in psychopathy. And so she works with psychopaths. And her boyfriend, who is older than her, she's 37 or 38, and her boyfriend is like 55. He also works for the college. He comes in, he's a very wealthy man, but he begs her to come with him to his family's estate. This is big Gothic estate that she's very curious about, and to meet his 22-year-old son, Gabriel, because Gabriel has a chance to play hockey for one of the big leagues, but they really don't. They want to prove that he's not crazy, that he's not a psychopath, and so she reluctantly agrees to go and spend some time at this estate and to get to know his son, who could potentially be her future stepson, because he's been alluding to this for a while, that they might be getting married. The minute she gets there and he sees her, he's like, she's mine now. Like, this guy there's no redemption for him. He is just dark and crazy the whole time. And the dad kind of cowers to this guy. It is an insane book. It is only about 160 pages. It's a novella. It was, I mean, for what it was, yeah, you got to suspend some disbelief, but I still enjoyed it. And I still gave it 4 stars. But just know he doesn't redeem himself at all. It's crazy. It's perfect for Halloween. Okay, I'm out. It's all you now.
Okay, mine are 2 Halloween books because I wanted to read some Halloween reads. So those are my last 2. So my next book is Tricked by My Ex by J. Sterling. This is part of the Fun for the Holidays that I've talked about a few times throughout this year on the channel. So this is book number 10. Again, 1 Audible credit gets you all 12 novellas, and they're pretty, like, the audio is pretty long, so you could be listening for a very long time if you're looking for something like that. So this is about Eve. Eve was dumped by her ex-boyfriend Tyson about 7 years ago. He was kind of a douche about it, and it was over the phone. But she was like, thought they had this great relationship, so it kind of took her by surprise a little bit. So she's at a Halloween party. She's chatting up with this masked guy. They end up kissing, and then she finds out that it is her ex, Tyson, and he is there to win her back. I enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars.
Okay. My finger won't work.
I'm sorry for your finger. I've said this before about the fun in the holidays. Some of the like ones that don't actually have a holiday around them, I haven't enjoyed as much. So since we're getting into the holiday season, I did really enjoy the Thanksgiving and Christmas one, if anybody is wanting to go listen to those. Okay, and then next I read A Wild Halloween by Rebecca Jinshack. This is part of the Wildcat Hockey's series. This is Mikey Walsh, the goalie's book. It's pretty short novella. So he is at a Halloween party. He's dressed up. Like, I think he had face paint and stuff on. He's walking along through this hallway in this house, and lots of people are there, and all of a sudden some girl grabs him and pulls him into a room and just starts talking to him and kissing him, and then she starts getting very handsy with him in areas, and he quickly realizes that she has no idea, like, she thinks he's somebody else, and so he is like, hey, I don't think that you know who I am. And then she is mortified. So this is Jess. Jess is actually the sister of Ash, whose house this is, and Mikey is his teammate. And so she's pretty mortified by the whole situation because she thought that was her boyfriend, but her boyfriend is just a real douche. And that situation quickly gets worse. And maybe she ends up leaving the party with Mikey. So quick Halloween read. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it.
Perfect. All right. Well, there's our week.
That is our week. Now it is time to read Thanksgiving books.
I don't know that I have any.
I have
Thanksgiving's
one.
not.
It's on my TBR. It's Boyfriend by Serena Bowen. I really want to read it. And there's a part of me that wants to read it right now, but I wanted to read it on Thanksgiving. But then I'm like, but I want to read it now.
Yeah. I still have some spooky books I need to finish, so I'm just gonna pretend.
Oh yeah, I am halfway through a Halloween book. So I'll have to report back on that one next week.
Well, and
was
I just
tired last night,
started
so I didn't finish it.
Not Deep Thrall by C.D. Reese. So that's, you know, a vampire and whatever. So yeah, I've still got something I want to do.
Also, just a quick update. Jessica is abandoning me.
Yeah.
Some bestie she is.
You know.
So
Suck.
on Monday the 10th, we will not have 1 minute book recs. We will have a trope video out on the 10th, and then our 1 minute book recs will come out on the 13th. So we'll just be flip flopping our Monday, Thursday video.
I will be tortured with sun and football.
I think I should go with Jeff instead.
You really want to share a hotel room with my sister-in-law and my husband?
I think it could be a great time. I'll just take notes on all the weird things that are stated.
So I'm going to Florida. The Buffalo Bills are going to play the Miami Dolphins. So we're headed to Fort Lauderdale this week.
And then I'll send all my observations to Kay Webster. So you guys know that I don't do well in the sun, so we'll see what I look like when I come back. The Dolphins suck. Like that's just gonna be a blowout game.
It was supposed to be North Carolina when they played North Carolina, and I guess because there's a travel agent that like arranges this, like we're a huge group of us go to these games once a year, and it was supposed to be earlier in the year. It was supposed to be North Carolina. For whatever reason, that fell through. So somehow it ended up being the Dolphins. I'm just going because we're staying at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville on the beach.
But you hate the sun. None of this makes any sense.
I do hate the sun, but I don't mind a beach, and as long as I have shade. And I don't mind. I'll have to bring my own umbrella. And I don't mind the pool. So, and there's multiple of those. So.
But I feel like I could list off way more things that you don't like about this trip. You don't like football. I should probably not say anything else.
Yeah.
And you don't like the sun.
Because I wasn't going to go. I told my husband, go, have fun. You know, it's a busy time of the year for the book box. And so just go ahead. And he's like, I really want you there. Please come. What do you say? So I'm going. He begged me.
I'll send him a message and be like, hey, did you want me to go instead? I'll actually know what's going on during the football game. I
know what's going on during a football game. Okay. I just don't like football. I know how to play the game. I just don't like football.
You could play the game.
We did play the game in school all the time. Our PE teacher made us play football all the time.
I did not have that PE class.
You did not. For 2 years. So I do understand the game. I just don't care to watch it. So a live game is different than watching on TV, though. I will give you that. Cannot guarantee I won't be reading, though.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's wrap her up. Okay. Well, make sure to check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us, and sometimes Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. Like this Wednesday.
Yes, we will have a narrator interview this Wednesday. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.